We Just Different Podcast, do everything possible to do everything possible. I'm super excited. I have a local Miami, South Florida superstar entrepreneur. I know she looks all quiet and shy and stuff, but I'm telling you, she is amazing, amazing, amazing. So super excited to have Diyanti here with me on the podcast. Reached out to her. She said definitely she'll come through. And once again, man, we do everything possible to do everything possible. No fear, no regrets. We Just Different Podcast, and she is definitely somebody that embodies exactly what it is that I'm trying to tell everybody and myself, that this is how you live life, man. No fear, no regrets. Do everything possible to do everything possible. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, I'm super, super excited, stoked, a little nervous. So, but thank you for having me on.
Absolutely.
When I first heard about it, I was like, oh, me? I remember you texting me, and I'm like, me?
Absolutely.
Me? Like, for real? So I'm really excited to be here and talk
about. No. It's good, man. So I'll tell you, one of the reasons for me that I was like, I have to have you on when I started doing this, because I see that you're big in health, like making sure that you live healthy, but then also too, you're always motivating other people. That's really big. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you're really big on pushing other people to be healthy, to do their thing, and just talk about that with me a little bit.
I was never a I don't consider even myself to be a motivating person. I just encourage people to be a little bit better, only because it happened to me. Somebody did that to me, and I was like, why? And they say, why not? And I thought for I don't know, can I curse here?
You could listen.
Oh,
you
do
what you do. You okay? Do your thing.
For shits and giggles, I was like, all right, cool. Let me just do it. Let's see what happens. And I fell in love with the result of when you go a healthy route. I don't like the journey that much. I'm gonna be honest with you. Nobody likes to go to the gym, eat healthy,
right,
drink your water. But the result in the afterwards was really what caught my attention, and I got hooked.
Yeah.
And I wanted people to feel the same way. I was like, okay, I know it's hard. And the journey part of it, I got to actually learn who I really am.
So when you say you fell in love with the results, are you talking about specifically working out, or?
The body. I'm an Asian person.
Okay.
Asian people naturally.
So where are you from? Where are you from?
Okay, so yes, my background is I'm Caribbean, but I'm from South America, Suriname.
Okay.
It's one of the 4 countries in South America that does not speak Spanish. Suriname is a Dutch colony, so I speak Dutch. Don't ask me to say nothing in Dutch because I've lived in America
Wait a minute. So I learned something new. So there's countries in South America that don't speak. This is the first time I've ever heard that.
Yes. So South America is predominantly Latin.
Right.
So you have Guyana, which is British English, Suriname, Dutch, French Guyana, which is French, and then you have Brazil, which is Portuguese.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Right. But the people think Brazil is just Latin as well. So my background is very Caribbean. I don't know if you know Caribbean people, especially here in Miami. They eat all kind of things, all kind of soul things. Spices and things like that, and naturally, I don't know. Health was not really part of my upbringing. So
wow. So what got you into health and wellness, being where you're from, and then
honestly, it was my parents. They were just doing their laundry one day, and a guy just approached them about health because he was it's actually Herbalife.
Okay.
So this guy, he was just saw my dad coming out of McDonald's, getting my mom coffee and all this McDonald's stuff. And he was like, you, sir, would you like some healthy alternative than that McDonald's? And I thought that was kind of bold. I mean, we live in the hood. I was like,
right,
don't talk to strangers, Dad. It's fine. But thank God my dad was that type of person that always wanted to try different things. Because of him, we came to America. So, I always trusted that my father has this intuition about a good feeling. Okay, I can trust somebody. Let's
so
try
wait,
it.
so where were you born in?
Suriname. I was born in Suriname, migrated here in 1993. I was 8 years old. And
do you remember it?
I do.
Wow.
I do. I thought we were going on a vacation, and we just never came back.
Got it.
And because of the decision that my parents made to come to America, I was very excited, and then realized that it's just the 4 of us till now here in America, and specifically here in South Florida. But yeah, because of my parents, they always, like to do, obviously came to America, new things, being better, prosperity. They were thinking about a better education for the future and our family. And health is one of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So talk to me about, I mean, even with that, like I know you as, Herbalife, and we'll get into that and just the business side of the health of what you do. But just some of the challenges, like coming over and moving into Miami and just, I mean, there's so many different things that I imagine you had to deal with.
Yes, as an immigrant, it gets really touchy because the journey is so crazy difficult to be an American, but it's at the end, it's such a reward. So the same up application. Oh, the journey is just a struggle, but the end result is just so worth it. And being an American means a lot. It means a lot of sacrifices, a lot of opportunities, opening doors. Citizenship here in America should be easier. Wow. Honestly, because it took us 10 years plus to just get legal papers to be able to work legally, to be able to have the same benefit as an American. And I think my parents, actually my dad applied for an asylum. I don't know if you know what an asylum is.
I don't.
An asylum is when a person or any individual that comes from another country that is in danger. So, like, if you're from, like, the Middle East or something and you're escaping to a refugee and you come to a place like America, you file for asylum because you can't go back to your country because it's so dangerous that you're going to die. And they denied him.
Wow.
They denied him, sent him the paper back. Thank goodness, because we know some friends who actually applied for asylum and then got the paperwork, and they were like, hey, you guys are fraud because your country is not a dangerous country, so we have to deport you. So one of our friends got deported, which is really sad, but I don't know, maybe it's supposed to be that way for them because they're actually, we talked to them and they're having a good life. So, but at the end, my dad got the paperwork and he was like, let's redo it the right way, okay? Let's figure the paperwork out. And yeah, a long process. I was the last one out of my family to get my paperwork as far as like being a green card, which is like a permit to be able to work and go to school and all that good stuff, and then finally swearing in to become a citizen. And that was emotional.
Wow.
Yeah, it was emotional because I thought about, like, my mom, she cried every day. She was like, why are we even here? We're living in a hotel. We were living in a hotel for like 6 months. I'm like, why are we living in a hotel? We left our country with a house, a yard. Actually, we live next to a church. We were a church keeper in our country, and we're here in a rundown South Beach. I don't know if y'all know South Beach, but South Beach hotels back in the days were really, 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 really rundown. And my mother cried every single day. Wow. And she was like, I miss my family. I was like, I know. I mean, I didn't know any better, but you sitting there as a child watching your mom cry. My dad would come home every day at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning because he was a dishwasher. And we ate pizza every day for breakfast, and that was so cool because we were like, in America, we don't, in my country, we don't eat pizza. We're like, what the hell? But here we're like, pizza. And that's also part of the health journey because we thought pizza was good, but it's actually bad.
Right.
And so we've stayed in Miami ever since. Like, wow. Miami has become our home.
So what introduced you to just like, so we talked about the health, but like you're very entrepreneurial as well. So like, because you've taken the health thing and you've turned it into a business.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes,
correct?
I have.
Okay. So
it's a gateway. Definitely health became the gateway to opening up other opportunities as far as business-wise.
Okay.
I was taught to go to school. I was taught to get a good job. I was never taught that anything that you're passionate about, you can actually make money from.
Okay.
I never was taught that. And getting
so when you say, you mean from like school or like your parents, or what do you mean?
Just my surroundings.
Okay.
General surroundings. Even my school. It was just like, hey, I did have good grades. And I was like, okay,
Where'd you go to school?
I didn't go to college. I went to Miami-Dade.
Okay. Now, where'd you go to high school?
High school, Miami Beach Senior High School.
Okay, got you.
Beach High, High Tide Pride.
Got you. Okay.
I don't even know what a mascot is. A tide, High Tide Harry. But shout out to all the High Tide Harrys out there.
Okay. And then so from there you went to community college.
Yeah, just community college. But I still was not. like some people just figure it out. Like, I don't know, some people just graduate high school and they're like, okay, now I can look for a good job or, become who I wanted to become. And it's for me, it was just like, nah, I didn't feel it. I was still kind of figuring it out. And how we just said, figuring out a few seconds ago, I'm still trying to figure it out. Yeah. Just in a different level.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just didn't know. I always stuck with travel and tourism.
Okay.
Because hospitality is very popular in Miami Beach.
Okay.
And that's really where the direction I went to.
So the guy starts talking to your dad coming out of McDonald's about Herbalife. And
it wasn't even about Herbalife. It was just like a healthy alternative.
Got it.
And he was like, yeah, okay, we're doing the laundry and you're right over here. Let's chit chat, And he just gave my dad the rundown, like, hey, look, we offer this, this, and this, which are these teas and aloes and shakes, and they're going to make you feel amazing. And coming from an Asian background, by the way, my heritage is Indonesian.
Okay.
Hence, I look Asian.
Okay.
And, Asians are everywhere. And, we are very familiar with tea. We're like, tea, we got that down pat. Okay, well, just serve it up. My dad was like, just serve it up. I'll drink it. It's fine.
Right.
And my dad fell in love with it. Got my mom on it. Both of them got some amazing results. And then that's where my parents were like, hey, come, I want to show you something. I was like, yo, I'm not coming over here to be seen about nothing. I come from South Beach, like the bougie lifestyle over there. Don't bring me to no shacky, shady place here in the ghetto trying to do some teas and shakes and whatnot. And that's really how it started. I got introduced to the same gentleman, and from there on, we've been lifelong friends ever since. It's now been over 6-7 years now.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Keeping it we've built that relationship to like family almost.
And so from there, you've turned that into like, what?
Okay, so then he first was like, okay, what's your health like? And I was like, it's straight. Back then I would smoke a lot of cigarettes because I was very stressful at my job at the time. Didn't realize that was bad, but I was like, oh, whatever, this is what people do. Cigarettes, smoking, drinking, whatever you could think of that was just like trying to alleviate stress that I didn't know that was what I was doing to escape. And he was like, well, you might be skinny, but you're considered skinny fat. I was like, don't nobody tell me I'm skinny fat. What the hell? What does that even mean? And it's true. You can be out on the outside looking a certain way physically, but on the inside, like how I was smoking cigarettes, not drinking water, drinking all kind of sugary drinks, was actually deteriorating me in the inside. At that time, I was only 29 years old, and I didn't know anything about what healthy was. And once I got on the products he was showing me about, the Herbalife products, I started to feel a difference. I lost 15 pounds. Addition to already being thin, I was like, why am I losing more weight? This is ridiculous. I don't want to look like this. And later on, he was explaining to me what was happening. Of course, we're not like doctors or anything. Everything is a trial and error, and every individual is different. So whatever worked for me cannot work for everybody else.
Right.
But with my trial and error, I had lost the 15 pounds, but magically I was starting to gain muscle weight. And I was like, ooh, I think I'm liking this, because when I was younger, I always told myself, like in my teen years, I was like, I can't wait to be 30. I can't wait to feel like a real woman, like physically, because I was thin. I didn't have no boobies and no booties and no nothing. I was just a walking stick, and I wanted to be womanly. I wanted to feel womanly, and that was something new for me. And part of that was in a healthy way.
Right.
It was like, okay, well, let's put on some healthy weight. Let's put on some muscle. Let's do toning. And I worked with him, and he coached me into how to like get to that point.
So tell me, like, so where you are now, and what I see on social media, like you're constantly motivating people, working out, getting up early in the morning, and you got like a group at 6 a.m. that you work with, and doing these Zoom calls, and I mean,
oh my gosh,
why are you so passionate about like helping other people get to that result? I mean, like, because I imagine all the people you help, they're not people you know. No. At some point, you probably become friends with them. Yeah, but like you're really passionate about helping like people that you don't know, like. Why is that?
It comes from being, when I came to America, I got lonely. Like there's my mom, there's my dad, there's my brother. Literally, there's the four of us. And my survival mechanism.
Are you younger or older than your brother?
I'm older.
You're
We're
older.
4 years
Okay.
apart. He was so he was like 4 and I was 8. And,
Okay.
you know, we were always the pair. I was taking care of him and watching out. Like, don't do this at home, but my parents left me at home at 8 with my brother because things had to be. My parents had to make.
But it was different then too. Like, you can't do that now, but it was a little different then, right?
On South Beach?
Well, maybe not. Maybe not.
On South Beach? I mean, on South Beach, a lot can happen on South
Yeah,
Beach.
true. That's
you
true.
know,
That's
but
true.
yes, we didn't. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, guys. But I was always lonely. My survival mechanism was I just wanted people to like me. I wanted to have friends, and I wanted to do whatever it takes to do that. My natural trait, my survival trait came from that as a child. Growing up, it's kind of has evolved, but that's the same idea. So it always dawned on me that, like, hey, I just want you to like me, and I'll do whatever it is that you're looking for. Whether it's like a friend to hang out, somebody to talk to. Man, don't do this either, guys. I did people's homework, you know, just to have them like me.
So I was about to say, sometimes that could be bad, right?
Super
Because
bad.
you're looking for acceptance and people are using you.
Exactly. And I did it, but I didn't feel that way. So it's a good and a bad thing, but I am very grateful that I was being watched over to not have that advantage taken of me.
Right.
But yeah, I would do stuff like that. And so naturally, I know it. And I know it. So now as an adult, how can I utilize that same acceptance feeling in a positive way? And that comes from like, hey, I just want to be your friend. But at the same time, can we get healthy?
Right.
Can we like look the part? Can we change some things? I am going to live long.
Right.
I'm going to live a very long time.
Absolutely.
And I want to make sure I make it. You know, I want to be able to feel as healthy as possible, even at my older age. And so that's it's an obsession now. Now it's like a little obsession.
So it sounds like, I mean, you got into it for personal reasons and health things, but then now it's turned into a business.
Yeah.
And like, you're very entrepreneurial. And so I have to say this, I have to give you your flowers, right? One of the big things is we don't tell people enough how much they impact our lives. And so for me, I remember we had a conversation about a year ago, and we were just talking about like posting things on social media.
Yeah.
And you were just saying, just keep posting, like just keep putting out content. Don't worry about how it looks. And because I was saying like how much I hate posting stuff, and like I'm very insecure when it comes to stuff like that. And you're like, just keep putting it out, keep putting it out.
You know what the difference is when you do it on social media versus real life? Because I'm kind of shy in real life until like I get a feel for it, and then I can open up. It's just like nobody's in my face. Nobody's in your face to tell you about it. And if you don't like what somebody has to say, you block them.
But you have a good life. I mean, like, you be having fun on social media.
Social media has been a way to express and reach to more people. Again, I felt lonely for a very long time. I felt lonely. And when you get to reach to one person that says, yo, I feel exactly the same way as you, I feel like, wow, okay, somebody's just like me. And I'm sure everybody can relate with that. I just want to feel connected with someone.
Got you.
And I'm so grateful for social media, to be honest. Like, we're reaching people like all over the world that we don't even speak the same language. I got to use Google Translate to be like, hey, are you willing to change your life? Like, this is what you want to do. I'm here to help you. I can coach you and guide you. So it's really a blessing, and you have to understand it. It's not that complicated, but if you want to understand it, it can really work to your benefit.
Wow.
In any range, from entrepreneur to just connecting with people, to just having more information to learn about something, to just be there. Like, yo, you can have a device and be there, and you can start crying because you feel like you're there.
Yeah.
You know. So I just utilize it in that particular way. You know, maybe.
What's next? Like, what do you want to do? What's coming up? Like, where do you want to take the health and wellness business? Do you want to start training people? Do you want to be a fitness model? Like, what's next for you?
Again, like, I'm still figuring it out. The best part about
but that's the beautiful thing about like just all of it. Like just keep going while you're figuring it out, right?
Yes, and I'm documenting. So I call that social media is documenting my journey, my progress. They say success is an idea that progresses. Yeah. That's it. That's really it. There is no destination except just moving forward and getting 1% better and better every day. If I could look back and look at myself and be like, wow, I've come this far, I'm proud. I'm happy. I'm content. It's my journey. There's no comparison to someone else because it's my journey. I have to live it. I'm going to live a long time. I got to deal with it. Yeah. So when you ask me, like, what is the next level? Like, honestly, just progressing. I do want to spread out and be able to impact as many people as possible. But honestly, it's still figuring it out. Yeah. It really is. Moving locations would be ideal. Being in another country would be ideal. I want to go to Europe because we're Dutch, and I would feel a little bit more at ease knowing that I can be in Holland or the Netherlands and be able to impact there. And just make an imprint. I want, as every day I think about what's my eulogy. I want what would be my eulogy. I want people to say, yo, Dee was that person that was always happy, always there for you, ready to listen, ready to help, as real as possible, because we're still human, and I love that we have flaws because that's what makes us unique. Right. So as real as possible. So I think about those things. My legend. I don't have children yet. I'm 36 years old, about to be 37. But why even know? Maybe one day I have a family, and I want them to say, "That's my mama." Yeah. That's my mom right there, or that's who so and so. I mean, I don't know, because my parents don't agree with my lifestyle. To be honest, they think it's wishy-washy, uncertain to them. They like security. But that's what it is. Entrepreneur is very uncertain. I've never met anybody that's like, yeah, this is what you do, A, B, and C. And
so I'm assuming, have you accepted the fact that you're an entrepreneur?
It's so hard. Like, even when you say it, to say that I'm an entrepreneur, it's a thing. I don't know. Maybe it's something that I have to like find it inside to just accept it. But yes, I've made profits doing the things I love. And when they explained to me what entrepreneurship was, I was like, you know what? I did it. Making profit doing something that I love. Yeah.
That's awesome. I got to stop you here, and then we're going to keep going in a second, but I'm going to stop you. We're going to pick right back up to where, yes, she's accepted the fact that she's an entrepreneur, and I want to know what's coming next. Like, what's the goal? What's the vision? And, like, we're going to go from there. So do everything possible to do everything possible. No fear, no regrets. We Just Different Podcast. Don't go anywhere. I'm telling you, it's getting real good. I'm super, super excited. So that takes us right into what we were going to jump right into. It kind of segue right into it. Like in the break, we were talking about just the challenges of becoming a citizen and some of the things as an immigrant. But then, like, being an entrepreneur, like you're kind of, I would imagine a lot of people that come in the country, they have the mindset of I have to make it, like, and I'm gonna be an entrepreneur because some doors may not open from a job standpoint, right? But like, you've accepted the fact now that you're a full-time entrepreneur, right? So and your parents like you said, they want you to get a job and they want the security.
They don't understand entrepreneurship, obviously. Yeah. It's
so talk to me about that. Talk to me, like, so if I say entrepreneurship, what does that mean to you?
Entrepreneurship means to me being able to be passionate about something that connects with you and making a profit of it. Yeah. I mean, plain and simple. Money is not talked about or is taboo, but just like air,
You need it.
You need it. That's the currency at the current moment. I mean, they're talking about Bitcoins and all that good stuff, which is probably going to be the next best thing, or I don't know if it already is, but you know, you need it, and currency, you know, is a big deal. Now, I've also understood other types of currency that ties into entrepreneurship. So, entrepreneurship is a type of mindset that I've come to learn. It's a whole different state. So again, when I was saying that my parents wanted me to go to school, college, get a good job, and make a good salary, that's a state. So unlearning those programs while trying to figure out entrepreneurship, another journey of challenges that I do have come to love the outcome of it, because it's like, wow, I can be my true self. Yeah. I can be happy. Like, I can be my happy self and be okay with who I am and still make money. Yeah. I've been in a job where it's like,
that's pretty amazing.
8 to 10 hours.
So it's funny you say that, because like the reason that we're here, and I started the We Just Different podcast, and my thing is do everything possible to do everything possible, no fear, no regrets. Like, we were, the beginning of this year, last year, the pandemic was a very interesting year. A lot of people lost their jobs, whatever. I actually went through a growth situation in my position where I got promoted, worked for a private equity firm. We own apartments all over the country. I got promoted into another position, making really good money, extremely blessed. And so we're driving down South Beach in April. My wife says, what do you want for your birthday? Because I'm turning 40 in June. Or I was about to turn 40 in June. And I said, I want to quit my job. And she's like, you want to quit your job? And she's like, okay, what's the plan? And I said, well, I want to write a book, speak professionally, and just, our investments that we have, and I want to start a podcast. And she was like, go for it. So when I tell my job I'm leaving, they're like, you want to quit your job, like the security of a paycheck every 2 weeks for what? And I said, I want to see what's on the other side of fear. Like, I really want to see, because I flirted with for a long time being a full-time entrepreneur. And even in that position, I was given a lot of freedom, and I had a lot of entrepreneurial things that I was exposed to. But I said, I want to see what's on the other side. And I really want to see what's on the other side of fear. And I want to literally do everything possible, because I've been saying this to myself for years, like, do everything possible to do everything possible. Yeah. No fear, no regrets. Like, and I said, you know what? 2020 taught me, if anything else, life is short. And, like, literally go after everything you want. Like, if you're healthy, your family is healthy, like, just go after it. And, like, that for me was major. And so when you say entrepreneurship is doing what you love, and then if you can make some money at it, like, that's amazing. Like, that's what life is about, right? Like, in my opinion, and I'm not saying anything negative to people that have jobs and want to go there. Like, that's great. That's great. But for me, once you're exposed to that, it was depressing for me. Like, to go to work every day. And, like, I remember feeling like on Sundays, I would be up for months, probably since maybe November or December of 2020 is when I really started saying, you know what, something has to change. Like, it was depressing going to work every day because I knew I wanted to do more. Like, I knew that. You know what I'm saying? So just that's why we're here, man. Like, the We Just Different podcast. That's what it's all about, because it's we are different type of people to say this is what I want, right?
For it to be different is a little scary at first.
But it's fun, though.
It is fun. I learned to love getting scared now. Entrepreneur taught me that. Like, you're going to feel fear. You got to do it no matter what. It's always going to be there. Like,
that's exciting to me, though.
Is it? Well, I'm a shy person. So, again, I wanted people to love me. And entrepreneurship and being entrepreneurship on social media, you will have both people who love you and people who hate you. You are opening that door, and I was afraid of that. My survival mechanism coming here was always to be liked, so that I had to rewrite all of that. And the rewards of it is undescribable. It's priceless. It's meaningful. Mm-hmm. That's really the key. Meaningful, because I don't want to live a life which was meaningless. Like every day in and out, zombie-esque, Yeah. And finally, now that I've woken up and actually see what potential I can go and really bring out of myself, and then on top of that, to make somebody feel better, and then on top of that, get paid doing that. Yeah. And then on top of that, be happy and be in my live in my truth. That is undescribable. That really is what keeps me going. That's really the drive, not the motivation, to be honest. Like, okay, you wake up. I wake up every day. How you said, like I have a 6 a.m. crew that I wake up with, but it's really the meaningful part about it that really makes a difference, and why I decided to.
But do you realize you are motivating people though? Like, you really are. You know that, right?
They tell me, but
you don't. That's not why you do it.
That's not why I do it.
Yeah.
I don't do it to motivate nobody. Like, I just want people to feel what I have been feeling. And if you could just tell when you look at somebody and you're having a conversation. Like, I could just see that you are feeling this sensation of like what it's like to live in your truth and to do what you want to do. And not because somebody's telling you what to do or because you have to do something. I can see when somebody is different. That's, if I could just have the extent to be like, hey, do you need, like, not even do you need help, but like a guide, a support. I think most people want to do things, but they don't have the support behind them. Like, I didn't have the support with my parents because they were like, we did not come to America for you to be lollygagging. This looks like lollygagging.
Right.
Why? Because you're not having a steady income.
Yeah.
Okay, some days you will be broke. And it's okay.
Absolutely.
And it's okay. So those type of things I had to learn to like really be okay with as well.
So one of the things that you just said that to me is just absolutely beautiful is the fact that you're motivating people, but that's not why you're doing it. Like, so many people get into doing entrepreneurship for the wrong reasons, and that's why they consider the results of fail when it's not what they think it should be, right? And it's like, you're not in it for that. You're in it because you truly want to, like, help people. And just, you want to help people, like, feel happy about themselves. And, I mean, that's what it sounds like. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. I want them to feel good about themselves and build up confidence, build up that, that capability that they can do anything. Yeah. Like, if somebody told me, like, 6-7 years ago, you could do anything, I'd be like, what you talking about? Like, we got rules. Like, don't you have to have, like, a degree? Don't you have to have this, and this? And it turns out in the 6-7 years I've been doing this, no.
Right.
No.
Wow.
Part of entrepreneurship for me is actually knowing your truth. That was really difficult because my truth was
So talk to me about that when you say knowing your truth. What does that mean? Okay,
so growing up, my parents, would tell me things show me things that I had to be. Comparing me to the things that they thought was ideal for what I should be. Again, I'm 36. I'm unwed with no children. Ooh, that's already a taboo. They were like, what is wrong with my child? Like every day I get asked, when are you going to make me proud? Like, who does that? My mom.
Yeah.
Every day, my mom. Yeah. When are you going to make me proud?
Is that something that you want out of life?
Married with children?
Yeah.
Not necessarily the front part of my life. Like, okay. I don't think that I'm doing it to like, I don't want to do it to just do it. I don't want to have that family. I don't need their husbands because I have to. I just come from a background where everyone is married.
Gotcha.
And no one is divorced. And when I go and ask my family, like, how are you feeling? Like, how is it? It's okay, and I get these mediocre answers. I was like, I don't want to live a mediocre life. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I love kids, but I'm sorry for my French, but fuck those kids. Like, live your life. Like, and I look at my parents because my parents are like, oh, we did this for you. I'm like, when are you gonna start living? You're almost gonna be in your 60s. My parents are very young. They're in their 50s, still. I'm like, when are you gonna start living your life? And again, I start talking to them, and I don't mean to. That's not me motivating them, but they're kind of saying that you're motivating your parents because 2020 was an impact on everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody started to see like, yo, we're dropping like flies,
yeah.
but you haven't lived yet.
Yeah.
So what are you waiting on? What are you waiting on me to get married and have children to be like, I'm living. I'm gonna be a grandma, whatever the heck, just like bump all that.
Yeah.
So
what's next, man? Like you got. Talk to me about Herbalife. So if somebody wants to get involved in Herbalife, like, I don't know a lot about it, but if somebody wants to get involved, like, how do they get in touch with you if that's the route they want to go, getting in touch with you?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. You can reach me on my social media, Diyanti.w, DIYANTI.w. being an Herbalife Independent Distributor allows you to be creative. It's not just about the products. So we have these products, of course, that are supplements to make you feel better, to lose, gain, maintain weight. People reach me through social media, through friends and family, through anywhere that you can even Google up, hey, looking for Herbalife Distributor Coach. It's not just about the products. It's a well-rounded well-being. Because, yes, your body is one, but your heart, your spirit, your soul, that all ties in together with being healthy. Because your thoughts, if you're here still having stinking thinking, don't think you're going to go nowhere. Because you're really still having those negative, poisonous thoughts that are kind of stopping your actual healing. So I think of it health like as healing.
So when you are all the Herbalife coaches like you, or all is
no.
everybody? Everybody's not like that.
No, that's the beauty about entrepreneurship. Anybody can be however they want to be, based on their personality, based on their background. It's just that happened to be in Herbalife. We believe in such a great product, and we've been in business for 40 years. We've even gone through the lawsuit. You can even look it up. We've even gone through the government's trying to, take us down, the FTCs and all those major, those are like the trade, the financial trade and all that stuff. But we've been through all of that to say, we're still blessed and grateful. Yeah. We're still blessed and grateful. And I am so grateful that part opened up. It's called personal development. Personal development is the number one part about, I think, entrepreneurship, and everybody has a different journey on how to get there, because
what is so if you had to sum it up in one sentence or one phrase, what is the greatest thing that you've learned over this healthy lifestyle, entrepreneurship, like the last 6-7 years, 5-6 years, however long, right? What is the thing that you've learned more than anything, to where if somebody says, tell me about yourself, what do you do, like why?
Yeah.
What is that?
The one thing comes from learning how to love yourself fully, completely, everything. Embody all the flaws, all the itty-bitty things that you think are just not the best, but they are for you. They were there. The beauty mark that's there for you, the crooked tooth that's there for you, the flabby skin that's there. Those type of things I have embraced on how to love myself, and I want other people to feel like loving themselves is enough.
Yeah.
Is enough, period. You want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be, the best recycling person in the world. It's if you love yourself, you make an impact no matter what.
Yeah. Well, so how far do you want to take your Herbalife business, and what's coming next, man? Is there a book coming, a workout video? Like what's coming? A podcast? Like what's coming next?
I know you really encouraged me to do the podcast, because I'm here sitting in it. I'm like, whoa, this is completely different, and it's pretty cool. Podcast reaches a lot of people. Yeah. Now that and also you have to be able to follow the trend, and now we're in an information age. Yeah. Everything is via recording of electronics, videos, YouTube. There's YouTube, there's streaming, there's books. I have my toe in literally in everything. Again, I'm figuring it out. Yeah. I would love to write a book. I don't know what, but a book on self-healing, and really, because healing really comes from not just the food, not just the diet, not just the exercise. It really starts with renewing your thoughts and attracting those thoughts. It's a whole big universal thing. I'm very big on the source and what that means. When you're saying things out there, you're casting spells and things like that. I'm just so fascinated by those things, and I want to dig into more.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people aren't there. I don't think people are cognizant of the fact how powerful your words are. And a lot of times you hear about it in church and from a spiritual perspective, but it's more than that, right? It's not just something that you talk about in church. It's like you really have authority when you speak and when you put things out in the atmosphere. And if you're not mindful of that, like, you can create you can ruin, you can do a lot of damage or growth with what you say. And like, I don't think people realize that.
Right. And honestly, like, this is a kind of funny thing that I do, but I'm obsessed with food. A person who's about health and fitness, I'm obsessed with food. I eat all kinds of food, and that is also part of my passion, which I'm tying in with health.
But you can be healthy too with that.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's that also. So watch out for the next video on YouTube video on that. We're learning more about how food can heal the body. But
you need to put out like a healthy cookbook or something.
Yes. Healthy cookbook, healthy meals, healthy anything that's with health. It's all about healing. But one thing that's really weird, I don't know if it's weird, but if people do it, but I speak to my food.
Okay.
I bless my food. We call it blessing when you're like blessing, but I speak to my food.
Okay.
I tell it how thankful I am, and I only want to make sure I get the nutrients out of it, and anything that my body doesn't need, please, you may excrete yourself. I don't know how else to say it, but those little itty bitty things make a difference.
Yeah.
And people don't realize. They're like, oh, are you speaking to your food? I'm like, because I'm obsessed with them. Like, I love food. I cherish food. I don't take it for granted, But,
are you a vegan?
I am not.
Okay.
I am not. So I do bless the animal.
I'm not vegan either.
I'm not vegan. Vegan is a very hard. You have to be very what's the word? Very creative.
Okay.
When it comes to vegan.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but
there's
that's
nothing
just
wrong
not
with
my
it.
thing.
I've done it. I just think
I like meat.
I love meat. I love everything. I love all. I'm so sorry for all the meat eaters out there, but I just love food. I eat all kinds of food. We've eaten turtle eggs, alligator, all kind of snakes, and it's just because also my background is from a Caribbean background, and we would go out and hunt and get those fowls and those boars and wild boars and they're delicious. And we want to thank them because they come from obviously from somewhere to feed us, and they were just there for us at the same time. So we just gotta get it. But I love all kind of food. So I do this thing where I just have to make sure I bless the things that I'm putting inside of my body.
Awesome.
Try it.
I love it. I'm definitely gonna start doing that. I'm looking forward to. The thing that I've loved about this experience so far with the We Just Different podcast, like I've really got a chance to interview some amazing people, some people that I know, and then learn some new things about people that I didn't know, that I know the person, but I don't know the person. And so it's been just an amazing experience for me. So just, if you're watching this, and I'm even saying this to you, just be encouraged and just keep literally doing everything possible to do everything possible, no fear, no regrets, and just going after it, because life is short. And when it's over, it's over. And just like live your life and enjoy life, be healthy, eat, do the things that are going to make you happy and enjoy this time that you're here, man. Because when it's over, it's over.
It's done.
Yeah.
It's done. I mean, I think of it like this. Like, I want to live for a long time. I just started doing these devotionals.
Yeah.
It's the most I've ever read the Bible. I say I'm Christian, but I'm, those people who say they're Christian, but they're really not. That was me. And it's not me no more.
Man, listen,
it's not me no more.
You a Christian. I'm gonna say this to you: reading the Bible doesn't make you more than a Christian than somebody that doesn't.
It doesn't, I get that, but again, as embodying like the words and reading the words and what they mean and how they play out to live a much joyous life.
Absolutely.
It's starting to sink in. It's starting
to
sink in. So what I think about is health. Being healthy is showing that you're doing your part.
Yeah.
And being unhealthy, I don't know what unhealthy is. Maybe somebody, some people say, hey, I'm drinking water every day and I'm eating vegetable every day. But like your mindset's kind of wonky. You're not really treating people right. That still doesn't make you a healthy, full balance all the way,
right.
in my opinion. So, it's a journey for everyone, but at the same time, I just want to show that the person that I am is because of God and because of, how I finally am seeing that, wow, this is all because of him. So I want to show him the best. I want to show him that he did good with me. Like,
absolutely.
He did the best with me, and I want to show him that I'm not letting you down. This is what you want me to do. I'm going to get the healthiest I can be, the smartest I could be, the happiest I could be, the joyous life I could be. And I think that's the truth.
Yeah.
That really is the truth. You start to just let go. That's why I say, just go post that stuff on social media, The more you post, it's not even posting, it's documenting.
Yeah.
And documenting is so cool when you actually get to go back and see like how far you've come. And when you look at yourself, how far you come, because then you'd be like, oh, wow, I am doing something.
So it's so funny. You keep saying document, and I got to shout out my guy, CEO, Matty J, man. I was just with him a couple of weeks ago. He's a big social media influencer. Like I didn't even know he was till a few weeks ago, and then I found out he's like a big famous social media guy. But anyways, his thing is documentation. So it's like documentation rules the nation. Like that's what he says every time I see him. Yeah. It's just like just documenting the process to let people know. Even the bad parts. Like even when you learn, like document everything. So you could go back and you could teach somebody that this is the process, man. Like, and it's not always wins. It's not always roses. It's not always like what you want it to be.
And that's really where the idea of when people start to get into social media, that's what they gotta show all the time, like the highlights of your life. And I'm just like, no, because the darkest times is really where the learning part is, and it's really where that person is like, okay, I see Charlie right here. He was down on this part. I felt that because I was there too. So how did he get out of that? I wanna learn how to get out. And that's where the impact comes. And I don't even know that sometimes I'll be doing that and you're like, oh, but you're doing it, you're motivating. I'm like, I'm just sharing how I got from A to B and utilizing the techniques and the tools. And if you are interested in to know what the tools and techniques are, I'll be more than happy to share.
But and see, that to me is like the most beautiful thing, because I've been around a lot of people that call themselves motivational speakers or whatever the case may be, and it's like you see what they say on the stage, but then you know how they live in real life, and it's like it doesn't add up. And that might make for a good speech one time, or you might be able to do that for a year or two, but then after a while, it's like it all starts to come out, and you find out they're really not that happy, the family's really not that balanced, the wife isn't happy, the husband isn't happy, the kids can't stand them, and it's like you find out all of this stuff, and it's just like. But to hear somebody say, you know what, I'm not really trying to motivate people. I just am trying to be the best version of who I am. And if they like it, they can ask me how, and then I can help them, whatever. But I just want to help people.
Right.
Like, that's amazing to me. Like, that's pretty cool.
And honestly, that's really figuring out how entrepreneur really works. When you start to know what you're good at and then turn it around to, like, make a video, a program, a course, a book, whatever it is. I'm still figuring out what
we all are.
So, but that's really where I see myself.
Yeah.
So who knows? I might come out with a course. No,
hey, listen, I want to see it. She put it out there, so the course has to come now. It's coming. The course, the book, the cookbook, the videos.
I'll document it so you can see.
Absolutely, man. I am so excited. I'm so thankful you came through, man. We just different podcasts, do everything possible to do everything possible. Diyanti, you embody everything that we talk about that I want this to be, and this is why. And things like this motivate me to continue to go. Like you said, if one person sees this and they say, you know what, I got something from that, like that tells me to keep going.
Yes.
You got to keep going.
One person at
a
time.
You motivate me a lot. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm just being myself,
Absolutely.
And I love that you're yourself. You and your family are yourselves, and you are that person that you are on stage, and even off stage, you're still like that. So I commend you. Like, I haven't been on stage yet, so I'm really excited.
Hey, listen, I try to tell people all the time, like, what you see is what you get with me. I'm not gonna change that for nobody. And the thing is, like, I've just learned about myself, like, I'm not shy. I'm just very private. So for me, the stretch with this is I'm a very private person. I'm not shy at all. I'm just a very private person, and I'm very selective over who I let into that circle in my life. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm realizing that my stories, how I present, I can help a lot of people. And so I just want to do my part, because at one day when my physical body expires, I want to make sure that I leave my legacy and leave my mark.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And that's how I see it. Like, I too like to keep some things to myself, but I think the testimony of how you overcome that challenge is really important to put out there.
Yeah.
So when you say things like I'm a private person, I get it. But like your testimony of how you overcame those challenges is really what's important.
Absolutely.
So I'd say, Shane, document it. Cry on it, whatever, curse on it. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I think that's the best part. The people like it when they see the rawness. Yeah. And they'll be like, that's a real person, because I can relate and I can actually overcome my own challenges, because you just show me yo, it's nothing.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Hey, I tell you, this has been definitely one of my favorite episodes. I'm super excited that when it comes out, I'm putting you on the spot now. You got to come back. Like, when you come back, though, I want to see you working on the book, the cookbook, the podcast, the what else did you say? The
courses.
The courses. I want to see all of that coming, man. I'm telling you. Do everything possible to do everything possible.
Yes.
I'm going to get you a hoodie because I want to see it on your social media. I'm gonna get you, from me to you, I'm going to get you one. So I'm going to make sure that happens. Like, in the next couple of weeks, it's going to be to you. Super excited. I'm really thankful that you came through, man. Like, this is everything to me. We just different podcasts. Do everything possible to do everything possible. No fear, no regrets. One of my favorite guests on here. Super excited. Everything that she's doing. Any last words, anything you want to say to the people? If you have to tell them one thing, what would you say to them right now?
Oh my gosh, there's so much going on in my head right now. Putting me on the spot. Find your truth. Find your truth. No matter how old you are. By the way, there's no age limit. There's no limit. Find your truth, because the truth will always set you free, right? You'll always be living in your truth. That's who you are. That's who you've been. And nobody can say nothing about that.
Absolutely. Find your truth. You heard it, man. Find your truth. The course is coming. Find your truth course is coming.
Find your truth course. I love it.
We Just Different podcast. Do everything possible to do everything possible. No fear, no regrets. Get the Find Your Truth course that's coming. Super excited for Diyanti. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hey, listen, thank you so much for tuning in to We Just Different podcast. Remember, do everything possible to do everything possible. No fear, no regrets. Charles Robinson.